Organic chemistry is the branch of chemistry which deals with the study of organic compounds. What are organic compounds? In the earlier days, organic compounds were considered to be the compounds produced by living or dead organisms, and hence the name was kept organic. But nowadays, all carbon compounds, either they have been produced from natural source or they have been synthesized in lab, are considered under the category of organic compounds. Other elements which are commonly present apart from carbon are hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen and phosphorus. To start with, we will discuss the concepts of structure and bonding, and later we will discuss the detailed study of the organic compounds. Now, in the beginning, we will discuss bond energy, bond length and bond angle, concepts of hybridization, localized and delocalized chemical bonding, van der Waals interaction, inclusion compounds, charge transfer complexes, inductive and field effects, resonance and hyperconjugation, aromaticity and hydrogen bonding. So, we will start with bond energy. What is bond energy? Bond energy is the amount of energy released during formation of 1 mole of covalent bond. In case of diatomic molecule, bond energy is equal to bond dissociation energy. Bond dissociation energy is energy required to break 1 mole of the covalent bond and resulting in the formation of constituent atoms. Here we can see that two atoms are combining together and forming the diatomic molecule, and energy is being released. Here again, this diatomic molecule is being broken to give constituent atoms, and energy required in this process is dissociation energy. In case of diatomic molecule, bond dissociation energy is equal to bond energy. Unit of the bond energy or bond dissociation energy is kilojoule per mole. Here are some important examples of diatomic molecules. In case of hydrogen, it is 435 kilojoule per mole. For chlorine, it is 243 kilojoule per mole. For oxygen, it is 146.4 kilojoule per mole. For nitrogen, it is 163 kilojoule per mole. For bromine, it is 193 kilojoule per mole, and for iodine, it is 151 kilojoule per mole. Now, second is the case of polyatomic molecule, where bond energy is average of the bond dissociation energies corresponding to various bonds of a particular type present in the molecule. We can understand this by taking example of methane. In methane, there are 4 carbon-hydrogen bonds present. 4 bonds are present and hence 4 bond dissociation energies. For example, D1 is the bond dissociation energy corresponding to the first carbon-hydrogen bond. D2 is for second bond, similarly D3 and D4. Now, bond energy for the methane molecule is average of the all bond dissociation energies taken together. Now, we will discuss the various factors which affect the value of the bond energy in different molecules. Most important factor is size of the atom. As we can see here, as the atomic size increases, value of the bond energy decreases. We can further understand this by considering the case of carbon-halogen bond. In case of halogen, as we move from fluorine to iodine down the group, atomic size increases, but value of the bond energy decreases, because bond between carbon and iodine becomes weaker in comparison of bond between carbon and fluorine and carbon chlorine and carbon and bromine. Now next factor which also affects the value of the bond energy is multiplicity of the bond. We can see more the number of the bonds between two atoms, stronger will be the bonds, because now we will have to supply more energy to break these two bonds. So, carbon-carbon triple bond is the strongest bond and hence shows maximum bond energy value, followed by carbon-carbon double bond and then carbon-carbon single bond. Number of lone pairs of electrons present on the bonded atom also affects the value of the bond energy. As we can see, in case of carbon-carbon single bond, there is no lone pair present. But in case of nitrogen, one lone pair is present. In case of oxygen, two lone pairs are present. And in case of fluorine, three lone pairs are present. So, as the number of lone pair increases, value of the bond energy decreases. Next topic is bond length. We know that covalent bond is formed by overlapping of atomic orbitals resulting in formation of molecular orbitals. Here we can see that two atomic orbitals belonging to two different atoms are combining together to form a molecular orbital. The minimum distance between the centers of the nuclei of two bonded atoms is called bond length, and it is at this position that potential energy of the system becomes minimum. We can better understand this with the help of this diagram, which shows variation of potential energy of covalent bond formation. Here we can see, as the two atoms are coming close to each other, then potential energy of the system starts decreasing. Here it reaches to a minimum value, and then after this distance it suddenly rises. It is at this distance covalent bond formation has been existed, and this distance is known as bond length. In covalent compound, it is the sum of the covalent radii of constituent atoms, and it is measured in angstrom. Now various factors which affect the bond length. First of all, again size of the atoms, as was in case of bond energy. We can see, as the size of the atoms bonded together decreases from iodine to fluorine, bond length decreases. It is obvious that as the size of the atom decreases, they come closer to each other and hence bond length also decreases. Next factor which affects the bond length is multiplicity of the bond. Here we can see that as the multiplicity of the bond decreases, bond length increases, because carbon-carbon single bond is the longest and carbon-carbon triple bond is the shortest. Now next factor is type of hybridization, or we can call it percentage S character. In case of sp3 hybridization, bond length is maximum, followed by sp2 hybridization, and then in case of sp hybridization, carbon hydrogen bond length is minimum. Next topic is bond angle. In polyatomic molecules, angle between any two adjacent covalent bonds is called bond angle. For example, here is the case of methane molecule, where angle between two carbon hydrogen bonds is 109 degree and 28 minute, and hence this is the bond angle for methane molecule. It is expressed in degrees, minutes and seconds. It depends on type of hybridization of orbitals involved, number of lone pair and bond pair of electrons. Here we can see how type of hybridization is affecting the value of bond angle. In case of sp3 hybridization, bond angle is 109 degree 28 minute. In case of sp2 it is 120, and in case of sp hybridization bond angle is 180 degree. Now next factor is the order of repulsion between electrons, which affects the value of the bond angle. Here we can see that lone pair repulsion is maximum, followed by repulsion between lone pair and bond pair, and bond pair repulsion is minimum. So this also governs the value of bond angle. How? We can see here with the help of example. First we will discuss example of water molecule. In case of water molecule, hybridization of oxygen atom is sp3, and hence we will expect the bond angle 109 degree 28 minute. But observed bond angle for water molecule has been 104 degree. Now we can understand this. There are two lone pair carrying orbitals present on the oxygen atom and two bond pair carrying orbitals present on the oxygen atom. Since two lone pair carrying orbitals are present, and hence lone pair repulsion takes place, and lone pair repulsion, which is maximum, it pushes the bond pair carrying orbitals close to each other, showing the bond angle of 104 degree. Next example is the ammonia. Here nitrogen atom shows the hybridization sp3. So we will again expect the bond angle of 109 degree 28 minute, but it is not so. Observed bond angle for ammonia molecule is 107 degree. In case of ammonia molecule, there is one lone pair carrying orbital and three bond pair carrying orbitals. Hence lone pair bond pair repulsion, which forces the two bond pair carrying orbitals close to each other, and hence angle is decreased slightly from its normal value and it reaches to the value of 107 degree. Here are the three examples of sp3 hybridization showing different values of bond angle. In case of methane molecule, since there is no lone pair present, value is expected bond angle of sp3 hybridization, that is 109 degree 28 minute. But in case of ammonia molecule, lone pair carrying orbital is present on nitrogen atom, which pushes these three bond pair carrying orbitals close to each other, and hence slight decrease in the bond angle value is observed. In case of water molecule, there are two lone pair carrying orbitals present on the oxygen atom. These two lone pair carrying orbitals push these two remaining bond pair carrying orbitals closer to each other, and hence more deviation from the expected bond angle, and hence bond angle 104 degree is observed. Now next topic, which is very important for the organic chemistry, is hybridization. Concept of hybridization was introduced to explain identical bond length, bond energy and bond angle observed in case of methane. Now let us try to understand various features of the hybridization. This involves mixing of atomic orbitals of different shapes and similar energies, and it results in the formation of hybrid orbitals. Number of atomic orbitals which are combining together is equal to the number of hybrid orbitals which are forming after hybridization, and these orbitals which are forming after hybridization are equivalent in shape, energy and length. Orbitals having lone pair of electrons can take part in the hybridization process. For example, in case of water molecule, oxygen carries two lone pairs, and in case of ammonia molecule, nitrogen carries one lone pair. Unhybrid orbitals having unpaired electron form pi bond by lateral overlapping, as in the case of ethylene, acetylene, and carbon dioxide molecule. Here are some important examples showing different type of hybridization, combination of orbitals involved in the hybridization, bond angle and geometry of the molecule. For example, in case of carbon dioxide, it is combination of s orbital and px orbital, which leads to the sp hybridization, showing bond angle 180 degree and hence geometry is linear. In case of ethylene molecule, geometry is trigonal planar, which is obtained due to combination of one s orbital and two p orbitals. Since these two p orbitals are oriented along x-axis and y-axis, bond angle of 120 degree is observed. In case of sp3 hybridization, tetrahedral geometry is observed and bond angle is 109 degree 28 minute. And here are some examples belonging to the inorganic chemistry which show square planar geometry in case of dsp2 hybridization, trigonal bipyramidal geometry in case of sp3d hybridization and octahedral geometry in case of sp3d2 hybridization. Now percentage S character of the hybrid orbitals. Here we can see that 4 orbitals 1s and 3 orbitals and 3p orbitals are combining together. Since there are total 4 orbitals involved and only one s orbital is participating, percentage S character is 25%. In case of sp2 hybridization, out of total 3 orbitals, only one s orbital is present, percentage S character is 33.3%. And in case of sp hybridization, where only one s orbital and one p orbital is participating, percentage S character is maximum, which is 50%. Now we will discuss the individual case of sp3 hybridization. sp3 hybridization is also known as tetrahedral hybridization. We know in the ground state, carbon atom shows electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2 and 2p2, and hence only 2p unpaired electrons are present. But carbon shows tetra covalency. How it is possible? In the excited state of carbon atom, 2s electrons get promoted to the vacant 2p orbitals, and now there are 4 unpaired electrons present in the s and p orbitals. In case of sp3 hybridization, 1s and 3p orbitals combine together and resulting in the formation of 4 identical sp3 hybrid orbitals. These orbitals are identical in terms of energy, shape and length. We can better understand this thing with the help of diagram showing shapes of the various orbitals. S orbital is spherically symmetrical and p orbital, this is px oriented along the x-axis, this is py and this is pz orbital oriented along the z-axis. These 4 orbitals are combining together, resulting in the formation of 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals. These 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals are arranged at an angle of 109 degree 28 minute and hence tetrahedral geometry. We can further understand sp3 hybridization by considering the case of methane molecule. Here we can see the tetrahedral geometry of methane and bond angle of 109 degree 28 minute. Now ammonia molecule, which is also an example of sp3 hybridization, though here one of the orbital carries lone pair. And here, because of the presence of this one lone pair carrying orbital, bond angle is decreased slightly and it is 107 degree. Now in case of water molecule, there are 2 lone pair carrying orbitals, and hence bond angle is further decreased and it reaches to 104 degree. And what shape we observe for water is not tetrahedral, but it is V shaped. Here we can see this is inverted V. Now sp2 hybridization, which is also known as trigonal hybridization. Here in the excited state of carbon atom, again 4 unpaired electrons are present, but only one s and 2 p orbitals are combining together to form sp2 hybrid orbitals. So how many sp2 hybrid orbitals will be formed? It is 3, because 3 atomic orbitals are combining together, so we will get 3 identical sp2 hybrid orbitals. Here we can see one s and 2 p orbitals, px and py. It may be px and pz, or it may be py and pz. So these 3 orbitals will combine together and will lead to trigonal planar geometry and bond angle 120 degree. Now fourth unhybrid orbital, which is 2pz, will be oriented along the z axis, and hence it will lie at a position of 90 degree with the remaining sp2 hybrid orbitals. To further understand the case of sp2 hybridization, we will discuss the case of ethylene molecule. In case of ethylene, these 2 carbon atoms are sp2 hybridized. So these 2 sp2 hybridized carbon atoms are joined together by the sigma bond. Here carbon hydrogen sigma bond, and here again carbon hydrogen sigma bond. So geometry is trigonal planar in this part. In this part also, where carbon is again sp2 hybridized, geometry is trigonal planar. This is the fourth remaining unhybrid 2pz orbital lying perpendicular to these 3, and this is the fourth remaining unhybrid 2pz orbital lying perpendicular to these 3, and hence these 2 2pz orbitals lie parallel to each other, and hence they form pi bond by the lateral overlapping. Next hybridization, which is very important in organic chemistry, is sp hybridization and is also known as diagonal hybridization or linear hybridization, as it involves only 2 orbitals, s and p. So 2 identical sp hybrid orbitals are formed. These 2 orbitals are combining together and 2 sp hybrid orbitals are formed, which lie at an angle of 180 degree, and that is why it is called linear or diagonal hybridization. Remaining 2 unhybrid orbitals 2py is oriented along y axis and 2pz is oriented along z axis. We can further understand the sp hybridization with the help of case of acetylene molecule, where 2 carbon atoms are sp hybridized. Here we can see this carbon atom and this carbon atom. They are sp hybridized, and this sp hybridized orbitals are overlapping with each other to form a sigma bond. Here second sp hybridized orbital is forming a sigma bond with hydrogen atom. Similarly, in case of second carbon atom, it is forming a sigma bond with other sp hybridized carbon, and it is forming here a sigma bond with hydrogen atom. Now 2 remaining unhybrid orbital py and pz. Here again this is py unhybrid orbital and this is pz unhybrid orbital. Since these 2 py orbitals are in parallel plane, they will overlap with each other by lateral overlapping, resulting in the formation of pi bond. Similarly, now these 2 2pz orbitals which remain unhybrid will also form a second pi bond, and hence carbon-carbon triple bond is formed between the 2 carbon atoms. Now finally, we will again see some important clues to predict the state of hybridization of carbon. Now what are these clues? If a carbon atom is directly linked to 4 other atoms, it will be sp3 hybridized, as in case of methane. But it is never so. As in case of ammonia or water, because of the presence of lone pair carrying orbitals, number of atoms linked to the central atom, in case of ammonia it is nitrogen and in case of water it is oxygen, so this number decreases. Now carbon atom that is directly linked to 3 other atoms is sp2 hybridized. Carbon atom, if it is sp hybridized, it is directly linked to 2 other atoms, as in case of acetylene molecule. So these were the concepts of hybridization which will help us to understand structure of organic molecules. To understand bonding concepts of the organic molecules, we need to learn more concepts like localized and delocalized chemical bonding, resonance, hydrogen bonding, van der Waals interaction. These concepts will be discussed in the next episode. Thank you.